Issue 17. Shopping. Although it is always wrong to stereotype an individual, not every member of a group will be exactly alike in terms of attitude, ability, or behavior, and some will not share any of the supposed attributes. Male and female attitudes toward shopping do seem predictably different, even across cultural borders. Most men seem to take a utilitarian approach. A definite product or service is sought, and it's just a matter of finding the best price or suitability. Shopping is a chore, a necessary evil. But most women look upon shopping as an enjoyable pastime, something to look forward to, even if they just look at items and don't buy anything. On vacation, women go bargain hunting and often end up paying more for a product than they would if they bought it locally, while men would rather spend their time golfing or reading on the beach than exploring every market and department store. Why are these behaviors so different across genders? Is there actually a shopping gene that determines this?
Shopping doesn't have to be hard work. I can get anything I want online, find the best price, take a break while I surf the net, watch a sports event, and chat with my friends. And I can do it all in the quiet of my own home, especially if my wife is out with her friends.
I'll never understand my husband. He just wants to stay home and play with his computer. But he's missing out on a lot of excitement. Looking at all the new store items, imagining how I'd look like in a nice gown I see, talking with my friends, relaxing over coffee, getting some exercise. It's a whole afternoon of excitement, and usually I don't spend anything.
Look at that dress. Don't you think it suits me? And it's on sale, too. Let's take a look.
Who's the real dummy?
I work a long, boring day under lots of stress. I see the same people and deal with the same issues day after day. Some of my colleagues relieve their stress by going out for a few drinks before they go home, and sometimes I join them, but I don't usually enjoy myself. One of my friends goes to a movie almost every night. But for me, the easiest and most enjoyable way to relieve the stress is to go shopping. I enjoy the tactile feel of handling merchandise and the vicarious feel of wearing different clothes as though I own them all. I like the bright lights and colors and the variety of goods before me. I enjoy the anonymous crowd busy around me. Somehow, it is all very comforting, especially if I can share the experience with a like-minded person. Once in a while, I buy something expensive, and occasionally I buy nothing at all. But usually, for a very modest expenditure, I can spend as much or as little time as I want exploring the vast range of goods available to me. It seems like every day there is something new.
Men regard shopping the way soldiers look at a military campaign. There is a mission, an objective, a purpose which needs to be attained. Pre-planning is important, and perseverance a necessity. The less blood and treasure that is expended in accomplishing the goal, the more successful it has been. Women, on the other hand, regard shopping as an exploration of serendipity. It is the journey, not the destination, that draws them. Experience matters more than attainment, and cost is nearly irrelevant. So, men approach shopping deliberately, women experientially. Men want to find what they are looking for as quickly and efficiently as they can. Women want to look for what they eventually find, in a process as drawn out and varied as they can make it.
Dialogue James Dean's Boots.
Look at this. Some anonymous person just bought a pair of boots worn by James Dean for more money than I make in a decade.
It's all a matter of scale. If I have 1,000 times more money than you do, I hardly notice what you regard as extravagant.
Yes, I understand that. If you can afford a luxury car, or a dozen of them, and I have to get by on a used compact, that's fine. But I just can't see spending a fortune on junk.
For all I know, the James Dean boots were a good investment. Maybe lots of people are willing to pay even more for them, so the anonymous person may have made a very shrewd purchase.
Then those other people are even crazier than he is.
You like certain brand names and are willing to pay more for those products than others, even though objectively the quality is identical. People ascribe value to things. Things themselves have no inherent value.
That's a lot of fancy talk. What are you trying to say?
I have some photographs of my parents that are worth more to me than my expensive stereo equipment. But if I tried to sell the pictures, no one would offer anything for them, and I could easily make a profit by selling the stereo.
Even so, there is a limit to what you would be willing to spend on more photos. They might be priceless, but that does not mean they don't have a price limit. The amount of money spent on those boots is immoral, even if the buyer can afford it. That same amount of money could have been used for health or education or scientific research or advancing ethical behavior or any of 1,000 good causes.
You buy things that bring you pleasure, in addition to charities you support and money you invest for your own wealth enhancement. Do you want someone else to tell you how much you can spend and what you have to spend it on?
There should be some way for society to demand some responsibility, some moderation on the way the very rich waste our resources.
Actually, I think they should be encouraged to spend all of their wealth. That way, we can get some of it back from them. Why should they just hoard their riches?
Instead of them wasting their wealth on useless luxury, we should tax them to pay for social improvement.
But then who is going to support the arts? Who's going to commission the operas and paintings and sculptures and dramas that you care so much about?
Buying out of necessity or keeping up with the Joneses. Some people buy only the things they need, while others buy things because others are buying them, even if they are not necessities. The fashion industry exists because people want to show they can keep up with the trends. The garment industry exists because people need different kinds of clothes for different purposes. Beachwear, running shoes, police uniforms, wedding dresses, hiking boots, and so forth. Fads appear suddenly, and a great deal of unconscious pressure is placed on consumers to participate. Social media users move rapidly from one provider to another for no particular reason other than everyone else is doing it. Perfectly good brands, products, and services disappear from the market simply because they are superseded by some other brand, product, or service which is essentially the same just because. A clever, or lucky, marketer manages to convince an influential block of consumers to buy his item and to abandon or not try a rival's item. But that does not often mean there is any inherent difference in quality or price. And it does not mean that the marketer's new item will long survive the onslaught of other competitors. Flux and variety are the touchstones of our modern age, while stability and constancy have become things of the past.
Let's talk funny. Heard about shopaholics? Now meet the returnaholics.
Returnaholics are a newly emerging social phenomenon. These are individuals who buy things and compulsively return them without good cause.
I don't think you need to conduct any separate research study to understand them. The explanation is very simple.
Oh?
All shopaholics must inevitably become returnaholics.
Really?
Of course. By definition, shopaholics can't stop themselves from buying things, but they can't keep hoarding indefinitely. So in order to keep buying, they have to start taking things back, don't they?
Here's the list of vocabulary words and expressions. Page 20. Stereotype, supposed attribute, utilitarian, chore, pastime, end up, miss out. Page 21. Preconceived, connote, ripped off, on credit, valid, attributes thumb, to make. Page 22. Tactile, vicarious. Page 22. Tactile, vicarious, anonymous, like-minded, perseverance, treasure, serendipity, draw, deliberately experiential, draw something out, extravagant, Get by. Shrewd. Page 23. Objective. Identical. Ascribe. Fancy talk. Priceless. Immoral. Hoard. Commission. Page 24. Out of. Keep up with the Joneses. Fad. Supersede. Inherent. Onslaught. Flux. Touchstone. Constancy. Page 25. Shopaholic. Emerge. Cause. Inevitable by definition. Shopaholics Anonymous. Dues. Regift. Engine. Subsidize. Page 26. Scrimmage. Trample. Ecstasy. Page 27. Live within one's means. Not in the same context. Page 28. In shape. Exhilaration. Page 29. Terms. Tagline. Handy. Page 30. Settle for something. Irrelevant. Social construct. Ruling. Keep someone in his or her place. The sky's the limit. Call it a day. Insatiable.